For this assignment, I chose to discuss prisoners and ex-convicts when discussing values that are embedded in social class. Studies show that 83% of released prisoners are rearrested within a decade of being released, and that rate is obviously bad for society and for the individuals that are trapped in a cycle of poor decision making. These individuals are highly marginalized and misrepresented in society across the nation. They're often viewed as less than or even dangerous people, but often when they return to civilian life, they don't really have a clear set of values anymore. And I really truly think that having those values are necessary to guide them into their transition back into the real world. Some of the beliefs that these individuals themselves and society deem appropriate for ex-convicts and prisoners, that is just really disheartening. This includes education, vocational activities, and just their general role in society. Oftentimes, education is pretty low on the list of priorities for people when they come back out into the civilian world, and therefore seeking employment can be difficult. And this is a serious challenge that they face as they integrate back into their communities. Also, as they're struggling just to find work in general, they are often faced with a racial bias and inequalities. So racial inequalities play a huge role in their life course outcomes as formerly incarcerated individuals. I read an article that discussed the hidden consequences and impacts that incarceration has on children and families, and family members of these individuals can be referred to as hidden victims because of their lack of personal support, their psychological strain, and things of that nature, that they're often overlooked because the focus is usually on the individual that had just been released. And so having those social supports are really significant in navigating how to overcome the challenges of having this person back in their community, back in their lives. And I just think that is really some of the implications for family social work. The kinds of things that impact families throughout the life cycle and the developmental stages. Culture significantly impacts how families are formed, and also the level of intimacy that's shared between family members. And the individuals, going back to incarcerated individuals, gender also impacts the families, specifically the gender roles and the expectations that are set with those roles. Also, social class is one of the main factors that contribute to the families and their well-being in society. When they experience poverty, it significantly decreases the lifespan of these individuals. But in addition to that, dropout rates increase, there are younger pregnancies, and education opportunities also decrease. And that just kind of goes back hand in hand with the values that they need. As a family social worker, the main goal should be to build relationships that can be with the social worker and the previously incarcerated individual, that individual and their families, as well as community members. The families may experience stressors, and the social worker should be there to assist them in navigating the new transition and helping them to find a new normal. But depending on the client, it can go a lot of different ways. and it'll definitely vary case by case.